So, hello everybody. It is me, Demetra Kaye, and I'm sitting here with that guy, Donovan, the recovering Democrat Sadiq. And it is Sunday. So, if it's Sunday, it means it's the Demetra Kaye Show where we promote Black love, knowledge, and understanding of all things that go on in the Black community to make us an even better people with the emphasis on even. And I should also go forth to say that, we talk about a lot of things on this show, but we are trying to focus on being more solution oriented instead of just talking, being mad with no action type of thing. We're trying to offer some solutions. So we hope that helps, and we know that you, YouTube and Facebook, the other side of the conversation, you all are very smart and knowledgeable and resourceful, and you guys will also offer some solutions to help us move the ball forward for Black people. Also, like to say this is probably one of the only shows that we read each and every comment of you viewers, because we feel like you should be heard and not just seen and watching me and Donovan talk our heads off. And so I'd also like to say thank you to Marcus Guyton for everything that he does behind the scenes on Facebook to make the show go further. I also like to offer my condolences to him for what he is enduring in his family. And I don't know if he is watching, but Marcus, if you are watching, as I told you earlier, and Donovan has too, reach out to us if you need anything. We are here for you. We love you, dear brother. And again, just reach out to us and let us know if there's anything on earth that you need. And so, hello, everybody. We have Moni, Don, Thunder, Tracy, Tanaya, Easy, and Robin. And of course, news from the Edge Mont. So we're going to talk about the other side of the counter regarding Black businesses in just a minute, but I want to give it to Donovan. What say you?
Welcome. It is Sunday. When it's Sunday, Demetra Kaye is out there lurking and doing what she's doing and, getting everything together and getting ready to do the show so that we could have this great conversation that's happening. Now, you guys do not forget, this is the time of year that us Muslims and those that support the Islam, we call holiday madness. And what we mean by holiday madness is people will actually go out there, especially you single moms out there, you will go out there and you will buy your kids the most expensive stuff you can buy them, knowing you have rent due, knowing you have no way of paying for it until you get your income taxes or, whatever the situation is. That's why we call it holiday madness. So hopefully we could have this conversation without people getting into their feelings and just tell the truth about what is actually going on, within our own community. So we're not here to actually talk about you in particular, because if it don't apply, let it on by.
So anyway, y'all, don't come for me, come for Donovan. I did not say that. Although I feel like we'll get into a whole host of things because we always do. Reggie, what's going on with you? So anyway, if y'all could share this and like this as well, we would greatly appreciate it. So last week, you guys, we know, we had our show promoting Black businesses. Fantasy, how you doing? Promoting Black businesses because, it was after Black Friday where people spend money. And a lot of people, especially Black people, we are the largest consumers in America. So we tend to spend a lot of money. So we thought we would focus on promoting, hey, Arson, how you doing? We thought we would focus on promoting Black businesses to give people an opportunity to do business with those Black businesses. And so I hope that you were able to do that. Now, I want to say this, and I say this with as much love. Honeydew, how you doing? As much love as possible. Now, I had an opportunity to go some places this week, Black businesses, and I went to this one business, and I'm not going to say its name. Hey, Dewan, I'm not going to say its name because I don't think, we need to kill a business per se. But it was a new business promoting itself as a Black-owned grocery store. So I was very excited about going. Went over there and everything. I was like, wow, I'm going to really be able to go do some grocery shopping. It's a ways from me, but still, I went over there. So as I go in there, I didn't really see any food. I saw a couple like fruits and vegetables or whatever. Some of it wasn't that great of quality, if you will. And, I'm still hopeful. I'm walking around and Hey, Janelle, how you doing? I'm walking around the store and I'm looking at some stuff to buy. So they have like cupcakes and cookies. You know, have some vegan stuff up in there, uh, drinks, and then products, other products that you can buy. So I'm picking stuff up like, okay, well, here's a vegan cookie. Let me get this vegan cookie. And when I say a cookie, it was a cookie, one cookie, $4. So I put the cookie down. Okay. I'm like, okay, well, surely there's some other stuff I can buy. So I picked up some vegan cupcakes. I like cupcakes. I ain't supposed to be eating them, but I was going to buy them nevertheless. 12 cupcakes, over $24. So I put the cupcakes down. And so I'm walking around the store and I'm seeing different things. And I'm like, what's going on here? Like, do they want people to buy stuff? So I ended up buying some sauce. It was reasonable. It was $6, like some hot sauce. And I bought a candle from a lady. She was there. She sold candles. And I didn't know she sold candles until we got to the other end of the store, because she was actually helping sell everybody else's stuff. And when I say everybody else's stuff, all the other vendors, and they weren't there. I don't know where they were. Their shops or their booths or tables had their stuff on it, but they weren't there. So she's telling me the ins and outs about everybody's stuff and how it works and all of that. So when I get over to her, I buy a candle from her because I'm like, well, at least I could do is buy a candle. The candles were reasonable. At least I could do is buy a candle because she's showing me the ins and outs. But for one, I'm thinking, okay, I thought I was coming to a grocery store. They had an island, I guess you could say, a centerpiece where there was some fruits and vegetables. As I said, the fruits and vegetables weren't that great of quality, but whatever. And the vendors weren't there. It was one vendor. She was telling me about everybody else's businesses. And to me, and I'm trying to be nice, they could have just really opened up the garage to their house and did it out of the garage. Like they went and bought this, I guess it was an old nightclub or something, and they turned it into a grocery store. And so I actually went to interview somebody from the store, maybe see if I could post about it to get other people to go there. But I was like, I'm not going to do that because I don't want people to come here and be disappointed to see what I saw. Now, anybody knows me knows I love to give money to Black businesses, but I was not going to spend money, on things that were just ridiculously overpriced, right? And so I've kind of had that experience this week with other vendors. And I know I'm not trying to step on anybody's toes, but I'm just trying to get some solutions here. So one thing that I would have fixed with that grocery store is, instead of trying to have all Black vendors or Black products in there because they didn't show up, for one thing, to tell anybody about the products, why not stock the store with some of the stuff that we would buy at a Kroger's or an HEB or whatever grocery store you normally go to? Why not have some of those products? That way we could at least spend money with that store, even though we're not buying Black-owned products yet. We're still going and funneling the money to that store. But they didn't have anything like that at all. It was just stuff you really could have went to, like a Black flea market or something, a pop-up type of situation. But if say you have a Black grocery store, why not stock it with stuff that we would use, or buy from another store? That way you generate traffic and get people coming there. And they were supposed to have vegan food already made. And the first thing the lady tells me, who was helping everybody, lovely, beautiful sister and everything, she says, as I was buying the sauce, she says, well, the news was here and everything, and they had some egg rolls that they made, collard green yams or something, but we don't have anymore. We're all out. And so there was no food, pre-made food, none of the stuff that, I thought would be there. And I'm like at some point in time, Black businesses, and not all, okay, I'm saying not all, Black businesses have got to get it together. You can't call yourself a Black grocery store if you hardly have any groceries. If you have more shea butter and more laundry detergent than you do food, I don't know how much of a grocery store that is. But again, I'm not trying to kill that business. I hope that they do much better and maybe somebody is watching this that knows them or whatever. But the other thing I want to talk about on the other side of the counter of Black businesses, I get it. I get the whole supply and demand thing. We don't have a lot of people spending money with Black businesses. Therefore, Black businesses tend to have to boost the prices up a little bit. It gets a little, when you go to a Black business or you buy a Black product, you're probably going to spend just a little bit more for that product. I think we all know that, right? If we can agree to that, we know that we're going to spend a little bit more money. But I want to say this to Black businesses. If you want your products to sell, like, come on, be reasonable. Don't expect for me, just because you're a Black business, that I should go and spend all kinds of money with you. And listen, anybody know me, know I'm pretty frugal. I like to buy stuff, but I'm supportive, but I'm not stupid, okay? I will support your business, but I'm not stupidly going to spend astronomical amounts of money just because you're a Black business. So, I don't know. And I'm not saying this because I know somebody will say, well, we spend money at Gucci and Louis. I don't do that, okay? I don't give none of them white folks no money like that at all. So, okay, so for those people who spend that kind of money, maybe you can justify doing that. But I think on average, a lot of people don't spend a lot of money on one product. And so if you are a Black business, especially that sells product and services, because I talk to people who have services and I'm like, you want me to pay what for that? I'm not going to do that. You know what I mean? So I guess the point that I'm making is if we as Black businesses want to be successful, we gotta be reasonable. And don't complain and say nobody wants to support my business if your prices are high, you're out of the products, and then you don't represent what you say you are. Again, if you tell me you're a grocery store, I want to come buy some eggs, some rice, some beans, whatever. You know what I mean? And so I know I'm a little bit on a rant here, but I was frustrated this week because I like supporting Black businesses, but I don't like to have to tell people no because the prices are ridiculous and the service and the expectation is just like very underwhelming. Does that make any sense? So hopefully we can come to some solutions here to help out some Black businesses and actually do better. But, I apologize for being irritated, but yesterday it just got under my skin. Donovan?
Real quick, because we're getting behind in the comments there, but welcome you guys, for everybody that just tuned in. But yeah, you're absolutely right. Remember when we went to these young girls had a beauty supply store, and as Black businesses, I don't understand. I know we can't compete. It's going to be a little bit more expensive, because you're competing against Walmart or people that have the mass products, right? But why can't we do something like this? Because the thing is, you've got to get loyal clientele. Now, I'm not a business person by no sense of the means. I'm an investor. I'm a quiet partner in a business. And so just cut me my check. I don't want to deal with all the other stuff. But you have to get loyal clientele. So I would always tell people, why don't you have something like an area code discount so you get people to come that lives in the community or in the thing. But we have to be realistic, because I'm sorry, I've gone to some of these Black businesses and then they have these high prices and it's like you got like 30 days before the item expires, and I'm not trying to down the business, but what I'm saying is we don't live in a realistic society to where our expectations are going to meet what the client wants. And that's what we really got to start doing as a people. You know what I mean? And if we're going to give discounts, okay, it's like me being in the military. Everybody gives military discounts, not Black businesses. They don't do that. Now, if you live near a military base, we had a Taco Bell that stopped. It changed ownership. It had stopped giving military discounts. Do you know what happened when the word of that happened at the base and people were like, we're not going there? Within weeks, that new owner started giving back the military discount because everybody stopped going to that business clientele. So you just have to use your common sense.
Yeah, and how are you going to be on a military base and not offer military discount or near a military base?
Exactly.
Silly. So anyway, let me get to y'all comments. And Arson, you say, hey guys, how have you been? My mom is over. More guests, so I can't stay, but I love you guys. Have a nice live. And thank you so much. To tell your mother we said hello. And
yes, she must be visiting from the islands or something, because Arson, you're up in Canada, if I'm correct. So
he's Haitian. Yes.
Haitian, yeah. Okay. Yeah.
And Honeydew, how you doing? And Morning says, glad to see you gorgeous people online. My sexy, delicious brown sugar Donovan. It is very warm where you are, Donovan. It's cold as hell in Michigan. I mean that brisk cold at that. Okay, well, stay warm. Do all you can.
Use those heavy blankets.
Yes, indeed. And DeWine say, hello, people. How you doing? And let's see. And Morning says, can you please tell us if you're going to be on Tuesday to Friday this week? Well, I don't think we will be. I'll have a little bit more time for the next month because one of my obligations is on hiatus. So maybe we'll come before you guys once or twice more than we do this Sunday. And Jafia says, happy holidays, everyone. Yes, indeed. And Thunder says, there were no groceries. No, it was some fruits and vegetables, barely. And I was like, if the cupcakes cost $1 million, how much can an apple cost? So I didn't even look.
Real quick, I don't even know this, but I was on YouTube watching, and there's a street that we have. It's called the what do they call the Blade in Figueroa Street? That's where all the hookers are at and stuff like down in LA. And you can watch it on YouTube. And the funny thing was, as I'm watching the YouTube show, as they're showing the girls walking or whatever is going on, there was a shop called Hose that had stripper clothes in it. And I thought, very interesting. And that's very business entrepreneurial. They set up a shop to where these girls who partake in that kind of business can go and get their clothes and their wear and stuff like that. And you got to admit, a lot of these girls that are out there living that type of life, there's 3 things that they have: nails done, hair done, and whatever outfits they got on. So that was pretty smart entrepreneurial how they did. I've never been to this thing, but I saw it in the video and I was like, Hose, what's that? So
YouTube, huh? You saw it on YouTube.
It's on YouTube. Yeah, it's on YouTube. Seriously.
Okay. Yes, fantasies, $4 for a cookie. I was like, ugh. And Marty says, Demetra, I'm not spending no money on these people's Black Friday, but I will spend after Christmas and get loads of good deals in stores in terms of fragrances from Walmart, CVS, Rite Aid, and Walgreens. That's a very smart move. And Robin, you say, wow, yes, indeed. And Jafia says, after the cupcakes, I would have just exited the store. Well, I was like, well, surely there's got to be something I can buy since I drove all the way over here, right? And Mona says it's a wonderful time if you wait till after Christmas and you start shopping when they're marketing everything 50 to 70% off, which is a much better deal in my opinion, and it allows you to get more for your money.
My kids ain't getting no secondhand stuff. No, we got to get the best. I got to get them some Jordans. I got to give them the best. No, I don't take no 50% off. We don't roll like that.
Silly. And Thunder, you say, what was the area in the middle that looked like a bar? It was like I don't know. I don't know if they were supposed to be making food there or what, but I don't know if it was a kitchen, but there was nothing. It was kind of people just standing in the middle. So I don't know what they were supposed to be doing there.
Can I ask you a question? Did it kind of remind you of an indoor swap meet, which is very famous here in Southern California?
I mean, it used to be a nightclub, so it didn't remind me of a swap meet, but the products that they had in there was reminiscent of a swap meet. It didn't seem like they needed a whole store for that stuff. You know what I mean? And Honeydew says, oh, you're talking to Jafia. Easy says, D, love how you make faces as you describe this shopping nightmare. Yeah, very animated. And Abdallah, how you doing? You say greetings to all in America from the Gambia, West Africa. Yes, indeed. How is it going over there? And thank you, Reggie, for the reminder. If y'all can hit the like button, Donovan and his cats, one of many cats. Did you hear about the lady who was breastfeeding her cat on the plane, Donovan? I covered it on the African Dives News channel, but you guys have to check it out.
I'll check that out. That's a mental illness case, right?
Breastfeeding her hairless cat. And Thunder says, how about put some food in the area so we can buy food, vegetables, laundry, detergent, etc. Yeah, but I'm telling you, okay, so they did have some frozen meat, but it was like it was only a few packets in there. Like it was frozen vegan pork chops, frozen vegan chicken, and some other meat. I think it was beef or something, but it was only like 3-4 packs in the whole freezer.
Now, let me ask you this. Are you sure it wasn't a store set up so they can get the PPC loans and stuff like that?
I don't know.
You know what I mean? I mean, I hate to say this, but, you've got some people out there that'll do the bare minimum to get the loan to make, more money on the other side.
I have no idea. From what I understand, the guy, he used to be in business before and he wanted to open up a grocery store or something. So I don't know. I really not for sure what was going on there. I
Yeah,
just know
if
it
it's a
wasn't no
grocery
groceries.
store, you should have some groceries in it.
And DeWine say facts. Easy said word. And DeWine say they didn't even have a hot dog. Not that I saw. Was nothing. I was just like, why tell me y'all had some food, but you don't have none anymore? You know what I mean? But like I said, God love the lady. She's an excellent, beautiful sister who was doing, to me, was going above and beyond to try to help make the store do something. Like I said, she was speaking on behalf of vendors who didn't even show up to talk about their own products. So, big ups to her. And the one says a little more, not outrageously more. Yeah, just a little more, but and I don't know. And Monet, how you doing? And news from the Edgemont says, are you talking about being and living in reality and your individual budget? Yeah, I mean, so I think we all can say we go off of budget, most of the time, but not, dramatically, right? But yeah, I just couldn't make sense of it. And Dewan says, not 20 plus for some cupcakes. Yeah, I put them mugs down. I was like, them things probably gonna rot on the shelf.
Yeah, and that's more than Trader Joe's would some of
yeah.
the high end white markets, little niche markets would charge.
Hey, Sunlight, how you doing? And this is Wilbur, how you doing? Let's see here. Thunder says there are Black farmers in the Houston area or go to farmer markets and get the products and produce your clients need and want. Yeah, and I still need to find those. I admittedly don't go out much just because it's kind of crazy times out there and stuff like that. But I actually do need to start finding some of those Black farmers because I like fresh fruits and vegetables. So I just need to get a hold of them. And Dewan, you say if there's a military base in your damn city, you better be offering military discounts.
Yeah. A lot, but you'll be surprised, Dewan. There's a lot of businesses that don't give a shit about the military and they won't give military discounts. Hawaiian One, which is a growing master chain out there, they don't give military discounts. I mean, there's a lot of them that don't, which is kind of stupid. I can understand there's no military base there, but if there is a base, you're talking about, especially if it's an active base, a minimum of 5,000 military personnel plus their families. So why wouldn't you, get that clientele? I go to certain places because I get 10% off specifically from that spot. So
yeah, absolutely. Eli, how are you? And Jeremy, what's going on? He says, good evening, Demetra and Donovan, also to Black First Family. Yes, indeed. And Abdallah.
Wait, and real quick, I broke Sunlight's brain last week and I was talking to her on the phone. We had a great conversation. She might not admit it, but I broke her brain.
Okay, well, maybe we'll hear a little bit about that later. And Abdallah, you say in 1970, after returning from the Vietnam War, I joined the Nation of Islam myself and a group of other FOI pooled our resources and opened Your Supermarket in the Black community, offering lower prices and high quality foods. Our closest white market competition mysteriously burned down one night. The Black people now had our store in the walking distance. Instead of shopping at our supermarket, they would ride miles out of the Black community to spend their money at the white markets. And so I didn't see the rest, but it sounds like say, please speak on that. Well, that's kind of how we've been conditioned to be that way. The white man's
baby boomers.
Well, the white man's ice is colder than ours. And we feel like there is more value in what they are selling. We don't have a lot of faith in our own products. Now, I would say a tiny bit of that is for good reason, a very tiny bit, not much. It shouldn't even we really mention it, but we just been conditioned to think that their stuff is better, and that's what happened when the civil rights movement came in. To Donovan's point about the baby boomers, when they could go off and be with white people and spend money around and with white people, that's what they did, dilapidating their own neighborhoods and businesses. And we have not recovered since. And not just physically and financially have we not recovered, mentally we haven't recovered because we still think that it's easier and better. I mean, it may be easier, but it's better to give them all of our money, 97% of $1.3 trillion. We still think it's better to do that than to try to pool our resources as you did with the brothers in the FOI back in the day.
Yeah, and think about this, Abdullah. How many of you guys heard of Bernice Johnson of Houston, Dallas, or I'm sorry, Dallas? She's retiring after over 30 years in Congress. And I and Brother Phil did a expose on her. And all those years in Congress, she has nothing to show for it. Now, I don't know if you guys have been following my podcast. I did the same thing with John Lewis, and everybody came for me. He's an icon. He's a civil rights guy. No, I ain't talking about his civil rights record. I'm talking about his civil record in Congress. I didn't make his record. He made his record. Nothing done for Black people. Now, Miss Johnson, she's a silent majority person. How is this woman still in Congress for this lady, 80-something years old, talk about she's going to go enjoy her grandkids? I think you meant great grandkids.
Our great grandkids.
Yeah,
at this
exactly.
point.
She's only like 9 years younger than my grandfather. Okay, so that's the mentality we have, Abdallah, with our older generation and what they taught us. Because whenever you hear I'm the first, what does you being the first have to do with enriching my life or bettering the community? It's one thing to say I'm the first and I did this and this for the community, and I opened the door and I'm just gangbusting and I continue to do it. Don't tell me you're the first and you've done absolutely nothing for the community. In Miss Johnson's case, I don't want to get political here, but in Miss Johnson's case, she was undefeated in her political record. Okay. Now the doors are being busted open. The COVID is running rampant. If you guys notice, all of these baby boomers that wouldn't leave their jobs are now leaving. Think about it.
Yes, indeed. And Sublime Prince, he said no notification. Yeah, I've heard a lot of people say that they don't get notifications. But, we haven't been on here that long, so you're actually right on time. And Honeydew says, have y'all ever done business with another Black person and they literally don't want to put money in your pocket but need you? Yes. Yes, I have.
That sounds like a lot of Black women's relationships, but go ahead.
You know what? What's get it off your chest, brother. Why you keep on wanting to talk about Black women? Come on, we got time. Go ahead.
No, I'm just saying, I'm kind of agreeing. There's a lot of women that go into these relationships with men because it's a partnership, right? And the brother isn't investing his part into the relationship like he's supposed to. That's my point. Because I'm always heavy on dudes. It doesn't matter how much money she brings to the table. You're supposed to bring the bare basics as a man.
You feel better?
I do. Go ahead.
Okay, I'm glad. And all right, so Honeydew, I actually have, and I think Black businesses don't understand it's a give and take. Okay, I put some money in your business, then if you can use my service as a product, put some in mine. That's how we keep it going, right? But yeah, we don't. Anyway, and Jonelle, how are you doing? How are you coming along with everything? And you also say some of our Black businesses need to stop being the high price leeches of the Black dollar that our enemies are and learn to give a good product at a reasonable price. As the Honorable Elijah Muhammad teaches, we often become the same robbers that are in our community. The money will come regardless. A good quality product, principles, and services should be first. Most of us need to learn math. Yes, exactly. Like, do you need to charge that much? Like, I really, really want to support your business, but it just doesn't make any economical sense for me to spend that kind of money on something. This is the crazy part. A lot of times they want you to spend money on stuff you really don't need. Like, this is kind of like a want type of thing, right? So it's like, do I really need that? Do I really need to spend that kind of money on that?
Right. I got a question real quick. Now, in a business plan, and you open a business, you technically, from what I understand from college when I took classes, you're not going to turn a profit for possibly 2 to 3 to 5 years. I think a lot of problems in Black businesses is that we don't borrow enough money to sustain the business to where you're going to take that initial loss to gain your clientele. So I've seen, and I know some people that are entrepreneurs that go out and get loans, and then when all is said and done, they didn't take out enough to sustain the business and to sustain those losses until they can build up their clientele. Would you say that's a problem as well?
I mean, yeah, that's probably one of them. Yeah, you're right. You have to put a cushion in there to kind of build up clientele and your bank and all of that. But I mean, if you do it right, it doesn't have to take that long. I think a lot of businesses try to do too much. You know, the model of the In and Out, or what's another restaurant that just does hamburgers? You know,
Big
like
Five, yeah, Big Five.
yeah, so yeah, like an In and Out burger. You guys probably familiar with that, depending on where you live. They just do burgers, fries, and shakes and sodas. That's it. They don't try to do too much. And they're
Well,
very
I'll
successful.
even give you a better example. Spirit Airlines, Southwest Airlines. Why is why was Southwest so competitive with the Legacy Airlines when Legacy was giving you the experience of flying and giving you the food on the regular thing? Southwest was like, hey, here's some peanuts. We're going to get you there. That's it. So your expectations were kept very, very low. And guess what? They ended up becoming, and still are, the number one airline in the United States.
Yes, indeed. And Moni says that is not the masses. We do pull our resources together. It just depends on where that person lives. But at the end of the day, you got some, I think it meant Black people that don't treat you right when you got, and your comment cut off. And Glenda, how you doing? And Thunder says exactly 30 years and the community has nothing to show for it. Yeah, that's most of our Black politicians, though. Just in there, just hollering and screaming, acting like they really doing something, and
They're
they're
not
not
even
walking
hollering
away.
and screaming. They're not even hollering and screaming. And if they are, it's for Mexicans and
Right.
illegals and gays and all that. And no shade to LGBTQ. I'm sorry if I used the wrong term, gay, but whatever, LGBTQs. But for Black people, they say nothing.
Yep. They throw the word diversity around a lot. And Moni says, when you go to their businesses, many times Black people will be unappreciative, become argumentative and combative. This is what I've been seeing for years. And sometimes you just don't want the ghetto-ness.
So Moni, would you be talking about the people that they hire within the stores that have these bad attitudes?
She's probably talking about the customers. I mean, you got bad customers everywhere. I mean, we do on the African Diaspora News Channel stories about Karens and Kens all of the time. We know that it gets highlighted a lot with us. But yeah, I mean, I think we would be lying to say that we don't have that issue in our community. People just not knowing how to behave when you're outside of the house, and Sunlight says, thank you, Demetra. Yes, I just wanted to give Donovan an opportunity to get that off his chest because it seemed like he really got something to say. And Thunder says he's thinking about the DR right now, laugh out loud or something. Jafai says, Donovan, you can't blame the boomers for leaving their jobs now. COVID wants them badly. The 80-year-old isn't a boomer. It's a silent generation.
Yeah, that's a silent generation. But what I'm saying is, it before this COVID stuff took a hit, right? We had to literally carry these people out in coffins off of their jobs. Literally. Now they're seeing, oh, I'm 83 years old. Why am I still here? Oh, you know what? I haven't done nothing in 30 years. So guess what? I got mine. My family's situated. Everybody's millionaires over here and all this other stuff. And I'm going to leave now. And that's the problem. And a 30-year record, nothing in there to show for it for Black people, because if they did, why are we in the situation we're in right now as Black people specifically?
And Moni says, Donovan, we aren't, we don't even have to talk about sorry lames like them. We just glad they be out of office. Here in Michigan, we're going to have 6 new city council, new crooks, vicious. And Jonelle says, I'm at peace, Queen. Thanks for asking. Much appreciation and love to you all. Yep. Again, reach out to me if you need something. And Dewan says, because Donovan, most Black people start businesses with their own finances, spare finances. They don't bother with getting loans for businesses because most of the times they won't get approved for it. So that has a lot to do with it as well. And
so we're here to talk about solutions as well. So I agree with you, Dewan, with that. But see, why can't we do what the Asians do? Why can't we do what the Hispanics do and do community financing? You know what I mean? Why is it that we can't? My mom's the oldest of 12. My dad's the second oldest of 22 brothers and sisters. Same mom, same dad. That's a community within itself. If everybody there has a job and everybody puts $500 in, what's the situation? You see what I'm saying? We need to start doing
Yeah.
what we wrote the book to. It's funny how we wrote the book on how to survive and do all this stuff, but we're the only ones not using the book that we wrote.
Yeah, it's a book that O actually gave me. I haven't seen him in a while. I have to reach out to him, but it's called Ori the secrets to Oriental Wealth. That's the name of the book. And it talks about that very same thing, how they finance stuff themselves. Like they go into the mattress. You say you need $100,000 to start a business. Okay, we got it. Once you start the business and you get up and running, then you run it back to us and we can help everybody else build. And so anyway, where did my comment go? And T, how you doing? You said sometimes the cost to create something is expensive because the items aren't bought in bulk. That is a very good point. And some people will say, well, we don't have the lock on the supply, especially like within the hair industry. A lot of Black people who try to open up salons, or not salons, but beauty supplies, they'll say that Koreans or whatever have locked them out of the industry. So you're right. A lot of times they're not buying in bulk for whatever reason. And so it is expensive. So good point. They have to try to make that money back and turn a profit on it. Sometimes the profit is like, wow, okay. And TM1, you say, shaking my head. What's going on with you? How you doing, by the way? And Thunder says, I went there and it was hard for me to spend my money. I really had to look to find something to buy, but I'm willing to give them some time to see what they will do. So you went to, so that I'm not lying, right? And I'm glad that there's some verification that I'm not, doing too much. Cause I like you, I was like, well, let me try to find something I can buy. Like, I feel bad if I walk out here and not buy anything, right?
Yes. Demetra is notorious for giving her money away and supporting Black businesses. When we were in Africa, there was this woman that kind of had her mother's aura. And this woman was a great salesman. She was giving Demetra the face, and she said, "Oh, I'll walk with the ATM with you." And we thought she was just a street vendor. This woman had a whole store upstairs, and Demetra was about to buy the whole damn store.
She got our money, boy. And Dewan says, hello, Joe Biden told you said, I think he meant hell. Joe Biden told the Democrats that they were going to learn how to get along with the Mexicans, because if the Black people took charge, it would destroy the United States. Yeah, and he meant every word of that. And Nancy, how you doing? It says in Nike, I think he said Nike was talking about the Williams sisters photo. A Black woman told me, what do I know about being Black? I asked her, when did you live in Africa? So you're saying you lived in Africa, so you know a little bit about being Black. Okay. And Thunder says McDonald's doesn't have the best burger, but the price is right. Spirit is the cheapest airline, but the price is right. You don't have to be the best. Just be consistent. Yeah, Spirit is my airline. Right. People talk about I ain't catching Spirit because it is. Listen, as long as they don't bother me, just give me my seat. Let me put my earphones on and get my book going, and I'm good. Okay?
Yeah, you just want to get there. Exactly. But you got some people that, oh, I've got to have the frills, or, and here's the funny thing. Like if you're in Spirit or in Southwest, people pay the extra money to be in first class. When you get off the plane, nobody knows if you're in the front, back, or in the damn middle. It's crazy.
Yeah. And Dewan says, because too many kings and no bishops. Yep, that's how it is. And I hate to say this, but we kind of have that problem in our community. No one wants to take orders. Why you get to be the boss? Who told you you get to tell people what to do? Well, I want to do it too. And it's like, can you just shut up long enough so we can get some instructions and see if they're good and we can follow it? I mean, like, really? So let's see here in TM1, you giving us a thumbs up. And Jeremy says, my parents and I had the Black group economics argument. We're from H-Town, live in a smaller town food desert. I'm the farmer of the family. They live on 96 acres, use 25. Ask me, where will I buy my land at? So, okay, if I'm trying to get this right, are you saying that they have 96 acres and they use 25, but you need to buy land somewhere else? Is that what you're saying? I hope that's not what you're saying. And Glenda, you say, I tried to support a Black business and was told I wasn't needed because they have customers worldwide. I was like, okay, see, all that being haughty and, uppity and all of that. It's like, you better get the money any way you can. Talking about you got customers worldwide. That is horrible. And Jeremy says, I told my parents that until Black businesses have, and then your comment cut off again. And Abdali says, I have started a couple of businesses using my own finances, no loans. Just be wise in your business moves. Exactly. Don't try to say you having a hamburger stand and you got tacos and egg rolls and pancakes. Just do, hamburgers. Just do that and do it well. And people will know you for the hamburger people. And then once you get your business up and running and the money is flowing in, then maybe you can think about something else, but just keep it simple. I think that's a lot too with a lot of businesses, not just us, but we don't keep it simple. We like do the most, right? Have you guys ever went to a restaurant and you looked at the menu and it's like, what do I have? You have burritos all the way to chitlins, you spend like 20 minutes trying to figure out what you're going to order. Just keep it simple. Yeah, most people ain't going to order all that anyway.
Yeah. And then you got to think about this too. It's funny how so many of us have military background and we're veterans and we know how to go get the home guarantee so you could have our little home and stuff. But how many of us veterans know that there's also a business guarantee loan you can get because of your military service? How many of you ladies out there that have kids that have gone into the military and have come out, they're going to school now, and you want to start a business or a family business, use that military veteran to get the guarantee to open the business to help it. That's what I'm saying. That's what the other man does. The Hispanics are doing it right now as we speak. The Asians are doing it. If you come to California, you will see more Asians and Hispanics in the Air National Guard and the Army Guard than anything else around here. And they're doing that, getting their homes, and they're opening their businesses using their veterans business. But us as Black folks, even though we're in the military, and I'm not downing it, but as an officer, I've seen it too many times at how many of us do our 4 to 6 years and then we flee. And then all the benefits are sitting right there.
Leave him all that money on the table. It's crazy. And Moni, you say not only do white supremacists want to keep you out of business or out of the business world, but they don't want you awake. And this is what they've been calling on these last couple of months, that Black awakening is too much. Yeah, well, we always know that they do not want Black people to wake up. But the good news is I'm seeing Black people waking up, maybe slowly, but it is surely. And
we're going to find out during the midterms. We're going to find out.
Right. Anais, how you doing? And Jeremy says, I told my parents today, Black businesses, I think you probably keep hitting the return button. And TM, he says, we must kill ego. Yes. We talked about that a couple of weeks ago. The egos, I heard this best. The egos, I heard this actually from the Community of Self, a book I'm reading by our brother Naeem Akbar. He says the ego's voice is the emotions. So when our emotions take control and do all the talking, the ego is just, it takes over. And you're absolutely right. A lot of us have an ego problem. I don't want you telling me what to do. I know what I'm doing and all of that. Instead of just saying, well, let's be logical here. If you have the information we need, let's be quiet and listen, right? And see if this blueprint works. But ego won't allow us to do that. So you're so right. And Anais says, buy Black. Yes. As much as you can, be consistent. Yep. We should, like I said, it should be second nature to us, like it is to everybody else. Asians, Hispanics, white people, guess they don't really need to have it be second nature because they have a lot of stuff. But Asians don't say, well, let me go to somebody else's business. They're like, shoot, let me go get some egg foo young from my peoples. They ain't going to get it from Black people. They're going to get it from their people. And they don't even have to say, today we're going to shop Asian. They just know they're going to do it, right? Mona says, in terms of the hair industry, the greatest game you can play is buy hair from others. We need to do with all the cultures and have nothing to do with Asians, from Hispanics to Middle Eastern Indians. Yeah, we should be doing that, but I understand there is some issues with the supply, but we need to figure out how to get a hold of stuff. But I will say this, and I know this is never going to happen, but sisters, we spend a lot of money on hair products and a lot of weaves and all that. Would you be interested in wearing your own hair unless you can go buy from your people? That's a concept, but that'll never happen. So I don't even know why I even talked about it. TM says, start by speaking to our people. It works. Yeah, I mean, we do that every Sunday, I would say, and and outside of the internet as well. But I always say, if you want to help people, talk to the people that's near and dear to you, your family, your friends, the people you work with. Talk to them, because a lot of time we're out there trying to save the whole world, and we haven't saved the people in our house yet. So it's not hard if you really think about it,
Yeah,
right?
and I'm glad you brought that up about starting at the house that you go in. The 95 crime bill by Joe Biden was written and authored by him, but his two kids had drug problems. Ask or look it up if his kids did any jail time for the drugs that they did. But look at how many of us did time for just possession or just distribution. Some of us are still in there for that.
Yep, laws were not written for us. And T says round trip to Florida last year from Spirit was $32. So I was out of here. Yeah, shoot. Girl,
Did you
I can't
wait?
tell you how
And you also get witness a fight while you're doing it,
that's
right?
all right. Free entertainment. I can't tell you how many trips I took to $50 round trip back to California. And I listen, I'm not bougie like that. I don't care for Spirit, as long as you don't put your hands on me. And I feel like if it's the ratchets and people fighting, eventually they will be banned from flying, and we won't have that problem after a while. But I'm catching Spirit always. Okay.
Yes, unless she wait, you guys. What Demetra? Look, don't let Demetra fool y'all. She was on Seychelles Airlines and almost got in a fight in the Seychelles.
Because that white woman was trying me. Okay. I'm like, listen, I'm African. I ain't from South Africa per se. Y'all be playing that mess with them, but I'm from the West Side, baby. Okay.
Yeah, but it was really good. But there was a Seychelles Airlines we were on to go and connect it. So
Yeah, it was a connection. And Sunlight says, Demetra, I'm curious, what was it in a woman's sales skills that enticed you, or were you already in the mood to buy? Well, I had already went to thinking I'm gonna buy some groceries at least, right? Because I needed to go to the grocery store. So I'm like, well, let's go to the black-owned grocery store. But with her, I just love people who are hustlers and try. She didn't have to try to sell me everybody else's product. I mean, she had her own stuff. But she was the only person in the store that even greeted me. She came up, gave me a little bag, and said, if you see something, put it in the bag. And she walked with me around and everything. It told me the ins and the outs. And so she was very attentive. And so when she got to her stuff, she goes, oh, and these are my candles, and they're this and they're that. And I already knew before she even gave me the spiel on her candles, I was going to buy something from her, because she went above and beyond, and she didn't have to,
yeah.
So
See,
I thought that was nice.
And a customer like that, a customer service like that, always gets me too. But for some reason, and let's face it, I mean, it's not just the young ladies, it's the young men too. You go into these places, they've got the attitude, whatever. I never return to those places. I never return.
Yeah, and I think too, and maybe this is a little bit my fault too. I mean, I saw, I guess he was the owner, but he was busy. I think we should start giving some feedback to those businesses. So perhaps I will do that so that I'm not hypocritical. I don't know how receptive he'll be to that, but like to your point, Thunder, maybe they just need some time to maybe get it up and running. I don't know. But so maybe I'll revisit it in the future and see what else is going on. And Jonelle says, imagine if we organized and directed our spending and focus on making certain Black businesses expand and prosper. We got to see we are our greatest empowerment, yet we give our empowerment to others and beg as a program. Yes, indeed. I mean, we give all of our money and resources to everybody else, and then we have our hand out. Oh, Democrats, save us, give us something.
Or we sit there and watch the money that was allocated for us go to other groups, and we say nothing, and our elected servants say nothing. How many of you guys know that Joe Clyburn, Jim Crow Joe Clyburn, this Negro sponsored a bill for Native Americans to give them $61 billion. But he won't sponsor nothing for Black people in reparations or anything like that. This is a Black man. He sponsored a Native bill.
Yeah. Hey, Brother Todd, how you doing? He says, peace, Demetra and Donovan. I'm just a fly on the wall tonight. What's the topic? Well, we're just talking about the other side of Black businesses. Last week, we highlighted Black businesses to try to spur some spending and stuff. And now we're just talking about the other side of the counter in regards to product prices, customer service, those type of things, to see what we can do to help Black businesses operate just a little bit better. And thank you for being here. And NIE says, I don't want to ride with the civilians, private only for me with Donovan flying with me. Well, Donovan is a pilot, so have him gas up a plane and come get you, you know. And Marty says, pure Native Americans, those are not Asians. I would much prefer that and I've been saying it for years. Let's stop giving these people our money and let them control the narrative. Yeah, I'm with you. And Harold, how you doing? He says Black first. Yes, indeed. And Hannah, how you doing? Says no more Black-owned businesses. Create great businesses. Hire Black, spend Black, market to everyone, exclude no one. Yes. And I believe Dr. Claude Anderson said that as well. Shop Black and sell to everyone. So I actually agree with you. And that's what I was saying too about that grocery store. Instead of just trying to have all Black-owned stuff in there, which wasn't a lot of stuff, why not just have the stuff in there that we would normally buy, like Coca-Cola, whatever else we go to the store for? And then once, it gets up and running, then you allow other businesses, Black business, to come in, but you'll have that traffic there, right? I think that makes sense.
Yeah, remember when we were in the Middle East, the typical American cup of coffee is like a nice little cup. They were charging us $3 or $4 for this little sippy cup of coffee. And you're just like, wait a minute. This is all you get? It's just like a little, Barbie cup. And you have to pay $3 for it.
And Thunder says family banking and banking and have businesses that feed off each other. If one sells food, then the other one sells meat to the cafe, then the other one sells the containers for the food, etc. That's how it's supposed to work. Then you say, then on company sells to the drinks, sells the drinks. Then one company sells the drinks, rather, is what you're saying.
Yeah, absolutely. There's a market. I'm not sure if it's down there in Houston, but here in San Diego, there is a market called Mikasawa or something like that. It's a Asian market. And in the Asian market, there's a grocery store that's owned by one business. And then on the other business, they sell like the Asian tea sets and all that other stuff. And then there's the other part that sells this. And then there's two restaurants there owned by different people. So what they did was they bought this space and then, sectioned off the part. So if you went there to just go grocery shopping, and let's say I'm hungry, I can stop and get something to eat. Everything is there that I would need, like you were talking about. But that's what I'm saying. That blueprint isn't new. That is something that we did before the civil rights movement. Black people had wrote the book. All these other groups are using the playbook that we wrote. For some reason, we don't use anymore.
Right. And the one says, did ride to meet her. That's exactly what McDonald's did at McDonald's, only did hamburgers and they started. So I think you meant that I think you meant I was right. That's how they started. Yeah, just hamburgers, fries, and drinks and a shake. And they were successful. Of course, they've obviously expanded their menu, but they can afford to do that, right? And one who cares, how you doing? He says, good evening, Demetra and Donovan. I truly love your channel and we truly love you being here. DeJuan says, you're right. McDonald's started the same. Yeah, start with something, simple. And Moni says, but Demetra, don't worry about it. In light of this pandemic coming back, you watch my words. It's going to come a time where they're going to need us again. And many people ain't going for the okie doke. Yeah, they already are not. People already are not showing up to work per se. And NIE says, my dad is a Vietnam vet and I'm going to look into the business grant.
Yes, Anise, please do that. And guess who reinforced that and gave the vets, especially, your dad and people like him, all kinds of incentives now, just threw money at them wholesale. The Democrats didn't do it, not like that. Donald Trump. In
Jeremy, you say, yes, I have to buy my own land. I told my parents today, Black businesses charge more for products or services until more money coming in, then they compete with the more popular businesses. Wow. That's unfortunate that they have all that land and you have to go buy some. And Moni says, Demetra, here in Michigan, I was really amazed that they've done something they never, ever did, which is to go after the white parents for buying a gun for that murder. I can't wait to see how it turns out. Yeah, I saw that. Yeah, they didn't do it for Kyle. They did it in different states, I know, but
well, you got to remember, Moni, white supremacy always controls both sides of the argument. So they're going to give up a few of their people just to throw everybody a bone. So there it is.
And Todd says, Donovan, you have to change the poster behind you because Demetra haven't wore red lipstick in God knows when. I'm just saying, yeah, I haven't worn it. I wear it for a special occasion or something, but yeah, I just kind of go with something natural. And Perry, how you doing? It says Biden kids did 0 time. Right, they ain't gonna do no time. And Thunder says, and I think of all these prices are high at these places because the vendors are trying to live a certain lifestyle. Some of that is probably true, but as T said, a lot of it is they're not having the right strategy to buy. For whatever reason, they're not buying in bulk. And then T, you say, I have no issues thus far at Spirit or Southwest. Me either. Spirit has been good to me, so I fly Spirit.
As a matter of fact, Demetra's a reward member.
Okay, they see me coming and be like, "Come on in." They know, but they better snap it together when they see me coming. They don't delay my flight. Don't call me and text me with the madness. Let's just do a schedule.
The only thing bad about Spirit is that they don't have a VIP lounge at certain airports.
That's all right. Get you a bagel and sit your ass down and wait for the flight to take off.
Well, see, Demetra always likes to roll with me because I get to roll into the USO.
Oh, man. Let me tell y'all something. If y'all have never been into the USO at the airport, it's like when you walk in there, it's like, you get free food and drinks, and it just, you can
showers, you could do everything in there.
Oh man, I want to just go back just because. Act like we going somewhere and just go to the USO. And Honeydew says no, Spirit. So he said you ain't taking your chances. Listen, for a $50 round trip ticket, whatever. Pull wigs and bonnets off, whatever you want to do. It ain't got nothing to do with me.
I will say this about Spirit. I would rather take the $50 round trip or whatever, even if it's $100, than take 30 hours to drive.
Yeah. And Javia says women in the 60s and 70s were so much more secure with their own hair. Yeah, they became that way because they came from a time where it was like, oh, your hair is nappy. You got to straighten it, so you're absolutely right. And you guys are laughing. And Mona says, Demetra, I had to step away for a moment. Will you have a show Tuesday and Friday? Not this Tuesday and Friday. I don't think we will give an advance notice when we do, or maybe something jumps off and we need to come on here. We will. And Jeremy says we have to travel to Black-owned businesses or use the internet or purposely shop Black. Other groups intentionally pass Black businesses to shop with their groups. We must do the same. Absolutely. And there's nothing wrong with that. And Thunder says also, what's in the dark in there when you win? Also, what's the dark in when you win? So I maybe Donovan can make sense of that if you don't mind rewriting it.
I don't understand.
It's probably got jumbled. And Mr. Pirate Brain, how you doing? And Sunlight says that's the people in North Carolina's fault about Clyburn. So South Carolina, he says they know where he lives. And One Who Cares says Clyburn is the biggest bootlick who helped Sloppy Joe Jim Crow get elected. Yep, he put him over the top. Warrior Scholar, how you doing? He says when 90% of the we, quote unquote, are dedicated to aiding and abetting the enemy, then raising an issue about what we do and don't do, that's counterproductive. Please stop lying about who, us, and who we are. Okay, well, do tell.
Yeah. And then here's something also, since we're talking about businesses. For the last 20-something years, the last 30 years, the ranking person on the banking and commission is who, Demetra?
Maxine Waters.
Maxine Waters, a woman that has Black skin. So you would think after 30 years, and right now she's the chairman, that after 30 years of being on that committee, she would have eased or better rated access for Black people to get banking loans.
Yes.
I'm just saying, you guys. I'm just saying.
Mm-hmm. And Moni says, Demetra, coming in the near future is going to come a time where Black people will not have to be reliant on Asians when it comes to hair industry, and that's already out and coming. About can't wait. Okay, well, I hope you're right. And Jonelle says, right, those Black politicians are voted in, sit on their hands mainly when it comes to us who vote them in and even advocate harder for others. We must be organized and unified to bring them and whomever we vote into account. It cannot be politics as usual when it comes to the Black vote. It must be our Black elevation or
Amen.
else.
Amen, Jonelle. How many of you guys heard Stacey Abrams is running for governor? Ooh, girl, suey, skewy. How many of y'all excited about that? Ralph Warnock got $49 million. How did this man accumulate $49 million into a war chest in less than a year? Ask yourself that. This is the guy that I sit on Martin Luther King's congregation. I'm going to go up into the house and I'm gonna do business. He's got $49 million. Stacey Abrams is going to be running for governor. How is that going to enrich our lives? Think about it.
Right. Well, especially we don't live in Georgia. So, and Jeremy says, Donovan, there's a reason the Black elected officials go in as 100 heirs and retire as millionaires. They are paid to not help the Black community. Absolutely. To keep Black people docile, keep the carrot in front of them. Right. And Hannah, if you say, I want to import from Africa, it's difficult due to logistics in many countries. Does anyone have any good intel on importing from Africa? So I don't, but hopefully somebody else in here, maybe they do.
Yeah, well, one of the major problems is that the European Union, white, and the United States, white, they put a very hard look on what is imported and what goes and to and from. That's another reason why we can't really get anything done, even though we have Black people on these committees and boards that can ease up the pressure so that we could release that pressure so that we could get our own goods. Like I said, there's a national conspiracy to keep Black people in poverty. 70% of Black people live in poverty. I don't care how much you don't want to believe it. Now, our poverty isn't the same as maybe Rwanda, but if you really look at it, it is. Like I said, we went to South Africa. There is no difference between Soweto and the 70% of us that live here in the United States.
You also say, Hannah, from Africans, import from Africans, Black Africans. And Jafia says 7 children in Detroit were charged with threatening to do something at their school. I would love to see what race these children are, who they are using as an example. I haven't heard of that, so I have to look into that.
And speaking of that, Jafia, that young kid that just shot up the school recently, did you see what his mom had said in one of the text messages to him? I'm not mad at you, laugh out loud. Just don't get caught next time. This is what they're teaching their children. What are we teaching our kids? No matter how much they bust you in the head and they falsely arrest you, pray for them. Religion is your way. But what are they teaching their kids? Just shoot up the club. Don't worry about it. You know why? Because they're teaching their kids rules do not apply to them. It applies to the Negroes and other folks.
And Warrior Scholars say what you want about Spirit, but they make sure they have some of the best pilots flying those things. Yeah, I haven't had any issue at all.
No, I'm gonna have to disagree with you on that.
Okay, wait. How you gonna disagree? They ain't crashed no planes.
No.
The litmus test is they ain't crashed no planes. When last time you heard a Spirit plane crashing?
Well, when was the last time you really heard of a lot of planes crashing? I mean, planes technically don't crash anymore because they're not flying the planes; they're all automated. So
falling out the damn sky, however they fall out the sky.
Yeah. Well, I don't want to scare anybody, but again, if you look at the years of the Spirit Air, those aren't brand new airplanes. Let me say that. It's not the skill of the pilot. That's all I'm saying. As a pilot, I'm telling you, it's not the skill of the pilot. It's really the skill of the maintenance. It's the skill of the maintenance people.
Fat Son, how you doing? You say first time from Mississippi. Welcome. And Thunder says the grocery store, was it dark or dimly lit? It was dark. It was very dark, like a nightclub type of setting. So
tell them to put some LED lights in.
Yeah, it was dark. So I don't know what that was about, but yeah, the whole thing was kind of dark. How was it when you went? And Honeydew says, no, never. I'll pay for a better airline or won't go. I don't have a problem with Spirit system.
It isn't the airline. It's the maintenance and how they do their maintenance. Matter of fact, a lot of your legacy airlines, I don't want to scare you guys, they outsource their maintenance to third world countries. So you got to think about that. That's why I'm telling a lot of young people, if you guys have kids or people that are interested in a vocation, you could be a mechanic and you will go to the airlines. Minimum you're going to make is $30 an hour. Minimum. Just walking in the door. Because they need skilled mechanics. A lot of the skilled mechanics my age and older are retiring or they're getting out of the business or whatever. there is a mechanic shortage. And that is what's going to be the issue that's going to mess up a lot of these airlines, not just Spirit. Spirit's doing fairly well, but I'm talking about Southwest had problems. Was it a pilot problem, or was it a software problem, maintenance problem? That's where your problem is going to be in the airline industry.
Marnie says, Demetra, I'm missing the Pioneer. I hope you'll do a story on this killing here in Michigan. They've had it tied up all week on this, and yet our pandemic numbers are rising high. Yeah, Pioneer is working a lot. So if y'all see him around the YouTube streets, tell him to bring himself back over here. To take a break and come see us.
Wait a minute. You know what? I think I saw a video when I was watching the videos of the DR. I think I saw Pioneer down there.
Oh.
No, I don't know. I'm just saying.
And Robin says, Donovan is crazy. Ski weed. Yeah. And a Warrior Scholar says, same with the DNC chairman, where he ran for office. He lost, but raised tens of millions of dollars and got appointed chairman. He reportedly hates that position and has no power, but it's a lot of money.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. But the thing is, he never held office before, and they elevate people that are losers. That's why I don't understand. We keep investing in people that can't win. I do not believe Stacey Abrams is going to win. I just don't believe that.
Janelle says, we was enslaved here and brought here from economic purposes. We are still free economics via our ignorance. It is vital that we spend our hard-earned with ourselves and beware of where we send our economics as Black people. No matter how minor our spending, some foreigners won't let us go with a penny and will tax our item a few pennies over, because it all adds up. Black economics matter, especially to others more than Black life. Yeah, because we help them sustain the life that they are living. They eat off of Black people, and they eat well. And we don't get that. We just continue to go and give them our money. And we don't understand that if we was giving that money to ourselves, that we would be doing just as well. So, and then a lot of times the stores that they set up in our neighborhoods, they're not even of good quality. They're just there, right? They're convenience, hence the word convenience stores. And so just because it's convenient, that doesn't mean it's good for you.
Yeah, and to think about this, how is it that these convenience stores and these fast food stores now accept EBTs?
Well, yeah. With EBT, which is a food stamp card, you can buy food, and then also on the EBT card, they do put their cash allowances on there. So
no, what I'm saying is that they're trying to have us continue to eat an unhealthy lifestyle to help us kill ourselves.
Well, yeah. So instead of fixing the food deserts in our neighborhoods, they'll just make it convenient for you to do that, opposed to putting a grocery store there. So yeah, I see that. And Marnie says, Demetra, Michigan minimum wage is set to go to $9.87 from a measly $9.65 an hour, only up 22 cents. And yet it's a pandemic. No wonder people are not looking to go back to work. Seriously. Yeah, they have shortages everywhere, which is, like I said, why I would be kind of hesitant to eat out, especially at fast food restaurants, because those poor people are overworked. So just be careful. And NIE says we need to build Black economics. Yes, indeed. And Jeremy says the police unions and the pharmaceutical companies gave Warnock money to turn the blind eye. Right. And he got up in there talking about how he was going to be doing this and that.
Yeah.
He was part of the establishment.
And what was his platform? When I ask anybody about any of these Black bootlicks' platform, nobody can tell me anything about what that person's going to do or what they stand for. But they can tell you, we got the vote, and booty to the poll. They can tell you all of the fun acronyms, but they can't tell you the seriousness of what this person's going to do once they get to Washington.
Yes, indeed. And Jafia says, I agree. Donovan. And NIE says planes don't crash usually. Correct. And Sunlight says our children learning about guns in the movies couldn't hit a target if it was right in front of them. Stop holding the gun sideways. Damn. Exactly. And
reminds me of the stormtroopers in Star Wars, or the red shirts in Star Trek.
And Monty says, you might be right, Donovan. I've never seen them go after the parents, and they're hiding out, and was caught right in Detroit. Detroit police wasn't having it and snuffed them out and took to jail ASAP. And Hannah says, Donovan, how and who do we apply pressure to? Raw materials and products at a good wholesale price is the answer. Black businesses can't compete due to supply deficits. And that's true.
Yeah, no, it's absolutely true. But again, we have Black representatives and people in the federal government that look just like us, that sit there and do nothing and know that these things are going on. It's so sad when we live in a society where people are so concerned about their paycheck versus doing what's right, and being the safeguard that they're supposed to be safeguarded. Here in my city, We had somebody that tried to steal power in a city council seat. We had a city clerk that told her that what she was doing wrong. We had a city attorney that said it was a Brown Act violation. Now, these are two gate guards that are supposed to stand up to keep the city from being sued. And yet, this woman, knowing that the lady was illegal, still swore her in. And that's the society we live in, where people can actually be bullied because they're worried about their job and their bottom line versus what's right for the community as a whole.
Absolutely. And Honeydew says, I had an incident on Spirit. They did nothing. I'm fine. No other Black person said one word. Well, do tell. We got time. Mona says, Demetra, I like the raspberry lipstick. Bring it back in the bronze, the burnt orange, a hot fuchsia pink. It looks good on you. It's the holidays. Perk it up with the makeup. It's fun. So, Mona, you want me to start wearing some makeup? I think about it. I mean, it's just more easier not to have to go through all of that and just take care of my skin so I can be natural as possible. Because I don't care what you say. After a while, wearing makeup on your skin, it does something to you. Like it makes your pores big, and then it makes the wrinkle aging process, speed up a little bit more. You ever notice people who wear a lot of makeup, and then when you don't see them and they're fairly young, you don't see them with makeup, you're like, what happened? It's because they wear a lot of makeup. And so I don't mind wearing color here and there, but I don't like to wear a face full of makeup. And Javia says, oh, no. And then you also say, Moni, Demetra, don't forget to tell us how many days you're going to be on this week. Everybody can stay tuned and follow you. Donovan, let us know the days you're going to be on in the podcast and link below. I also put Donovan's information in the description box if you guys want to follow him on YouTube or on Facebook. And Jafai says a YouTube video about the children who were charged is entitled 7 Minors Charged by Wayne County for Threats to School. Okay, so I will have to check that out. I didn't hear it. And admittedly, you guys, I'm not on the internet as much. So if you guys sending me messages and stuff, I probably don't see them because I'm just not on as much. And I don't watch a lot of TV. I'm trying to really move away from media a lot. I mean, of course, I stay abreast because I have to do videos and stuff, but I just try not to inculcate a lot of news and media because it's negative. But I will check that out. And Robin, you say Stacey is another Democratic shield. I think most Georgians know that, hence is why she can't get elected. Yeah, and if you really look at her platform too, she's an all lives matter candidate. She never really talks about Blacks. The only way she talks about Blacks is getting Black people to the polls, her every vote counts initiative or whatever it is. But it's never really anything progressive for Black people. It's the same old, I need Black people to help me get in, but once y'all get me in, I'm never going to do a damn thing for you. So that's Stacey Abrams. And Ray Sean, how you doing? He says, hello, Queen Demetra and Brother Don and Room. So now says, right, Queen, Arab brother told me they are instructed and only allowed to put certain items in their stores, mainly health hazard products. Just walk in these gas stations and mini marts and observe the toxic they sell but don't consume. Yeah. I mean, a lot of those things, if you look at the code dates, they're almost expired or they are expired. And so it's like that alone should be problematic for us. Like, this is what you think of us. You're going to come in here and you're not giving us a discount for this stuff. You're going to put your stores or whatever in our neighborhoods and sell us horrible product. And then God forbid it's because I've seen videos of people going back into these stores, the milk was rotten or whatever, and they don't want to give them their money back. And it's like, dude, you sold me rotten milk. Why should I pay for that? Give me another one.
Yeah. How many of you guys have seen that? It was in the early days of The Simpsons where Apu sold Homer a bad hot dog that had been sitting there and he got poisoned and stuff. And Homer still went back and got the food and stuff. It was crazy.
Right.
It was crazy.
Brother Samuel, how you doing? It says brewings. I think you meant maybe greetings. I don't know. D&D says, were either of you in the Nubian leadership cadre yesterday? No, I was not in there. I wasn't home. Hopefully I can catch, I don't know if it's on video somewhere. I would love to see it, but how was it if you were there? And Jeremy says the Black officials never have a political plan. Their skin is always up for sale. Yeah, it's about enrichment for themselves.
See, and here's the funny thing, Jeremy. We all know this, and yet we keep electing these people back into office. In my city right now, we have a city council seat in my district that is open. So everybody's been asking me, well, Donovan, why don't you take the seat? I'm 51 years old. I'm too damn old. I think it needs to go to a millennial, somebody with new ideas that's going to, give these younger people a chance, because my city's now warehouse central in the Inland Empire. We are warehouse central. This is what the baby boomers have brought. If you guys really want to understand what your city thinks about you and your children, look at the jobs that they bring. That'll tell you everything you need to know.
Mm-hmm. And Honeydew says we also can't compete with the many white think tanks where corporations plan every aspect of business and they plan how to get our money. I mean, they've been doing that. If you don't believe me, I know you guys have seen it. There's a video called "How to Sell to the Negro Market," and it was fashioned in the 1950s, and it was put together by Johnson and Johnson. The black, actually, it was a Johnson publication rather. Which was a black publication back then. So they helped white supremacy figure out how to get black dollars. So check it out, How to Sell to the Negro Market. And Hannah says, I like your natural look. You can improve on black skin. I appreciate that. Yeah, I just feel like if you take care of your skin, you don't need to do all of that. But to each his own. People want to wear makeup. That's fine too. I don't believe in dyeing my hair either. It's
well,
gonna be great.
God, at 50 years old, Jesus, that's a young girl's game. But thank God you don't have your bat wings on in front of your face.
And again, somebody who wants to wear eyelashes, that's on them. I have no dog in the fight. I just prefer not to wear all of that. I'll probably pull them off some time throughout the day anyway. And Most High, how you doing? It says, hello, everybody. All praises to the Most High. Black first, always struggling and striving against the most satanic, corrupt society on the planet. Yes, indeed. Leather and luxury cars. How you doing? I hope you're not working too hard today.
And real quick before we forget, one of our listeners, and Walter used to mentor this young lady. She is in Sierra Leone, and she got her citizenship there. Anita just got her citizenship. So
that's a beautiful thing. That is a beautiful thing. And Asada, how you doing? He says, my mom used to say, don't wear all that makeup because it will make your skin bad. I firmly believe that. I'm telling you, see people who wear a lot of makeup and then one day you don't see them with it on. It's like, what in the heck happened to you? It's almost like they need it now, right?
How do you think men feel when you guys take off your weaves and we really see what you look like? You know what I'm saying? It's the same theory. But then wait. How many of you guys remember Batman with Jack Nicholson? Remember he had the makeup and that's what was messing everybody up. And remember the broadcasters, they didn't have their makeup on and they looked all jacked up. Exactly. So I will agree with you. I think the makeup will eventually jack you up. How do you know there isn't an ingredient in there that is biotopic to Black people? You don't.
Yeah, I mean, again, I don't knock anybody who does. I wore it. I admittedly, I've never wore a whole bunch of it, just some lipstick and stuff. But to each his own. But for me, I just choose to just be natural. Gray hairs, y'all see it's coming in. Gray hair and natural me. And Thunder says, are there any Black camping supply stores because winter is coming and I want to be ready in Texas? I know, right?
Wow. Yikes.
Right. They say the freeze is going to happen again. I'm going to tell you, guess where I'm going to be? On Spirit.
Southern California.
I'm going to be on Spirit. I can't do that no more. I'm sorry. Y'all can have that. I'm going to bleed the pipes up in here, turn the water, I'll bleed the pipes and be like, I see y'all when it gets warm. And Robin says exactly. And Hannah says Donovan maintain automated conveyor system and business like Amazon mechanics across the board are at a premium.
Yeah, exactly, Hannah. And that's what everybody doesn't understand. Remember when we were coming up, it took 300 people in a warehouse to move the boxes and stuff. Now they've got little robots that are doing it. And since these young people don't want to come to work, what do you think these corporations are going to do? Well, we're going to have to automate now. So you have an automated here in my city. We're the poster board for all this stuff. So instead of having 300, 400 people, which was isn't that what they had promised, Demetra, at the Skechers thing? We're going to bring 400 jobs. Ended up bringing 22 jobs, and those were the technicians, the mechanics. That's where we got to start telling our young boys and girls if they're going to be, they don't want to go to college or whatever, to go into those areas.
Yep. And Sunlight says, yes, Arab and Asian businesses break all kinds of regulations, yet never get flagged by inspectors. Never, because they know we in the Black community, we ain't gonna bust a grape. We're not gonna complain, and we're not gonna stay out of those stores. And so they're probably like, let's save that for Beverly Hills. Or, in the affluent neighborhoods, where if they try to get away with that. But the Black people, shoot, they don't care. They go in there and argue with them over spoiled milk. So,
Well, think about all these Asian massage parlors. I mean, it's on the news all the time about how they're fronts for prostitution and all that other stuff, but yet they're never shut down.
Right, but let that be a Black nail salon.
Right.
They're not going to be able to do that one day. But yeah, that it's popping up everywhere. Well, it's not popping up. We know that that's kind of what a lot of those businesses do. It's a front for some pretty
stuff. But the thing is, they're never shut down. They might be cited, but it ain't like they got caught once, twice, 3 times. Up in San Francisco, these guys have been caught 16, 17 times, and they're still in business.
That's because the police chief is probably up in there. And let's see here. Let's see where was that. And Robin, you say, well, I can honestly say that I don't support none of the Asians, Arabs, Hispanics, etc. as businesses, so I wouldn't know how outdated their products are on the shelves. Yeah, I mean, I've seen a lot of videos of people complaining they won't give me my money back. It's like, stay out of there. Stay out of there. And Thunder says, I'm waiting to see some silver highlights. So you're saying you personally? Because I know you like the ladies with the silver highlights, so do tell. Oh, and I was at a thrift store the other day, and I saw some slips, and I thought of you. I thought of Thunder. I said, oh, wow. He would like to know I saw some slips. They're hard to find. The slips that women put up under their dresses so you don't see through them. Even if you're wearing a burlap sack, if you're old, you have to wear a slip. I thought about you.
The sad thing is, you ask these younger girls slips, they don't even wear drawers anymore.
Oh. Like Lady Heloise wasn't wearing no drawers.
My goodness, I don't have any panties on.
Sunlight says, I'd like to know more about how people obtain citizenship. Yes, me too. And Jeremy says, we can compete with the white think tanks. We only have to do what they never planned for, and that is us boycotting their businesses. Absolutely. There you go.
See, in Germany, you got it right. If more of us would understand that if we would stop supporting their businesses, we won't need a think tank because their businesses won't exist because we're not supporting it.
Yep. And Brother Sammy says it's getting better and better. I participated in the education/healthcare. The Honorable Minister Farrakhan gave closing comments. He mentioned what Donovan mentioned earlier. Says ours to pass on their best of what we have done to future generations that will survive. Staying righteous, not religious, will sustain a nation. His speech and summaries of each is on my page. Okay, I will check it out. And Warrior Scholar says, our people have a solid reputation for looking better as we age. It's undeniable that adding excessive chemicals and what will disturb our natural, beautiful aging. Let's not do too much of that. I 100% agree with you.
Yeah, it's funny that you say that, Warrior, because when I was in the DR, and even when I travel abroad and I tell people I'm 51 years old, they're like, no, you ain't 50. I mean, what is 51 supposed to look like? Am I supposed to be completely gray-haired, broke down, teeth missing? It's just crazy because it's like, well, what are you supposed to look like at 51 years old as a 51-year-old man? I don't have a pot belly yet. I'm getting there, but not yet. But you know what I mean? It's just, it's amazing. It's amazing.
You're supposed to look rolled hard and put away wet. Like you had a good time somewhere. And Anna says Chinatown looks after their own. Absolutely. And they don't ever need to leave up out of there, right?
And wait. I want you guys also to, so we'll talk about Chinatown real quick. I want you guys to pay attention to Boston, Massachusetts. They just elected their first Asian mayor. Got rid of the 2 black women that were running. Didn't want them in the primaries. Okay. That's what the Democratic Party did. So they got an Asian mayor now. Watch how Asian businesses are going to get preferential treatment because they have a person that is now the mayor, and watch how the demographics in Boston are going to change over the next 4 years.
And let's see here. Sunlight says it's more about the government trying to empower them over us. It's deeper than the demographics of their customer base. That's the small part of it. And he say slips. Yes, slips. I saw slips. And I was like, that darn Thunder would be elated if he saw what I can, if he could see what I saw. In fact, Sonya says we can't attack long enough. I think is that what you meant? And Sunlight says slips remind me of Esther from Sanford and Son. You said we can't stick together. I think you meant long enough, right? And we need to learn how to do that. You're absolutely right, Fat Son. And Robin says, did you see some bergamot hair grease too? No, I didn't see that. But if I did, y'all know about it. And Marty says those Stacys may not be able to get elected as governor. I say if you don't succeed the first time, try again. I can admire her ambitions. Not so much of a Democrat and never a Republican, but she's okay.
Okay, Stacey, see, and this is another thing that we got to start doing before we start backing these candidates. Go look at their records. Do you guys know Stacey Abrams, when she was in the state house, if you look at her policies, she was more Republican and conservative than she was a Democrat. Go look at the stuff that she was against. And it was really, a lot of it was for Black people. And she was like, nope, we ain't doing that.
But she need Black people to help get her ass up in there, though. So yeah, like Donovan said, don't just go for it. She's you know talking loud and she gonna do this and organizing the vote. But again, what you gonna organize the vote for? Everybody else and not for Black people. So pay attention to that kind of stuff. And Thunder says slips. Yes, yeah, I'm telling you, was some slips up in there. And Sunlight says laugh out loud, that blue magic and B&B. I mean,
Bonner Brothers.
There was some pretty old stuff up in there. Moni says, Demetra, there's been so much happening still in this building that I would love to set a date that either myself or my cousin Shay can speak on. More updates and retaliation of white privilege and battling. I keep telling you, let me know and I will make it happen. But you ain't gave me the word, sis. Hey, chocolate girl, how you doing? Robin says, I saw that in Massachusetts, shaking my head. Moni says, and how we also have been winning. Would love to share this with you. How is the next Sunday or the Sunday after that before Christmas? Let me know. We got to see what happened to our pioneer. We'll find him. Where is he? But yes, let me know the date and I will make it happen. And Jonelle says to use the broke down 51. Most don't know that they're a product of their activity and diet. Major would be wise to regulate both diet and activity reflects life.
Yes. Yeah. You know, the thing, Jonelle, I was telling people, we have people that burn candles at one end. And some people have burned candles at both ends. But at the end of the day, like as men, we keep talking about the wall is undefeated for the women. The wall is undefeated for the men just as well. It's undefeated.
Yeah, I mean, to your point, I mean, it is about diet and exercise. I exercise 7 days a week. 7 days a week now. I might watch, if you will, my watch is, I have it specifically for fitness purposes. I have to do 26,600 calories for the month of December. That's how many calories I have to burn. Now, I didn't realize last month I burned almost 26,000 calories. Well, didn't even realize that. And so it says you need to burn a little bit more. So the point that I'm making is, I'm trying to really be fit and do all I can. And so I work out 7 days a week, not really just to look better, but to feel better. And to be here for a long time, because you can eat right, but if you don't move your body around every once in a while, then it's just, you kind of only halfway doing a job. And so you're right about that. We have to do both. Ray Sean says, is anyone really surprised government's sole purpose is to maintain the wealth of the wealthy? When will they learn? Absolutely.
Yeah. It's funny thing, Rayshawn, Demetra and I were talking just before the show, and we were talking about the Communist Manifesto and the French Revolution. What do those two things have in common? The two things that they have in common is this. When the people get so damn poor that they eventually have no other choice but to rise up and murder the bourgeoisie and the rich folks, that's where America is heading right now. I mean, when, people are just becoming oligarchs, in a democracy, we have a major problem.
Absolutely. And Robert says, I just think that a lot of our people don't care about what's going on politically. They just want to vote just to say they voted. I voted.
And that's exactly what's wrong, Robin, with Black people and the people that are politically know it. The white people know it. We are politically immature as a people, because back in the day, you could vote for a Black person, and you would think that Black person would look out for you. Our Malcolm X's, our Martin Luther King's, our whatever. That's why when Asians and Hispanics, we have a lady here. This lady was not my cup of tea. And she was unapologetic about what she said. She said she doesn't represent everybody in her district. She meant that she represents her people, and she did just that.
Absolutely. And let's see here. And you also say, Robin, some people just saying she's okay because she's Black and that's it. They don't even know her political views. Shaking my head. Yeah, absolutely. I'm telling you, check it out. And Sunlight says, agree, 50 should look like Idris and Shamar Moore. Yes, indeed. Fine specimens. And Jeremy says, Donovan, do you really believe that they are not going to change the powers from for the mayor in Boston, Massachusetts, like they do in other cities when they are Black mayors?
No, because you got to remember, Asians are prospect whites. They are prospect whites. And again, we just had an Asian bill that overwhelmingly passed on the first try from Republicans and Democrats. We've been trying to get an Emmett Till bill for over 60 years. It can't get out of the Senate. We just had a George Floyd bill that had worldwide support. Can't get it passed. Asians are probationary, like in a biker club. When those bikers, they don't have their patch and they're probationary until they say they're going to be crossover. That's Asians for white people. So they're going to do everything that they can do to make sure that they're successful, and they set up and they do what they got to do. That's just how it is.
And Robin, so you're saying there's an echo. Do y'all hear an echo?
Yeah, I hear an echo, but that's the internet. So.
Oh, I don't hear it, but sorry about that. And let's see here. And H. McDaniels, how you doing? He says, yeah, Black people need to do their research on candidates before they vote. So many Blacks vote for Jim Crow Joe without knowing his history. Now they are complaining about what he's not doing when people tried to tell him, but they weren't having it. Jonelle says, also watch and get the Honorable Minister Farah Khan's presentation called Healthful Living. Call 1-866-602-1230 extension 200 or visit storefindacall.com to get your copy. So I'll leave that up there so that those who are interested can see it and get a copy. And Kara, how you doing? It says, Donovan, that woman sold out to Bloomberg and I will never support her. Absolutely. And Jonelle says, you can watch Healthful Living by the Honorable Minister Farah Khan. Oops. That's not where'd it go? Oh, here we go. Via YouTube. So it is on YouTube as well. And let's see here. And Rayshawn, you say, I call it OH, a system of corruption and their buffer class collaborators groups. Morning says the corporation, Donovan, may be getting robots, no doubt. But at the same time, what I see on the news about the fact I live here in Michigan is there are study finding ways to increase the pay.
Correct. Moni, you could increase the pay all you want, but if there's minimal jobs, what difference is it going to make? I'll increase the pay. If I can get rid of 20 people and increase the pay of 2, I'm going to do that.
And Thunder says, nothing like seeing a woman wearing a slip, cooking breakfast, lighting her cigarette with the same burner. That's cooking a pot of grits. Yes, memories. And you got to be kidding, right? And then she flicking the ashes over the...
No, better yet, the Florida Evan. She got her little slip and she's in the kitchen telling Thelma, I told you to stir the grit, stir the oatmeal, stir
it. And you can see the little cellulite through her slip on her booty. That's what you're talking about, Thunder. And Morning says, but what I'm really pissed by, they see the numbers is going up where we're already on a 2-day average at close to 20,000. That's like 9,800 to 9,500 cases per day in the COVID-19, yet you want to talk. And you also say, yet Donovan, they will talk about increasing minimum wage to $9.87. In light of all this bullcrap going on here, nobody should be making less than minimum wage of $15 an hour. Let's be clear.
Right. Well, okay. Well, Moni, let's talk about the Democrats right now and all the promises. Everything that Jim Crow Joe ran on, he has not delivered. Where's the student loan forgiveness? Where is the $15 an hour federal minimum wage? Where is the George Floyd bill? Where is the qualified immunity? I mean, the Democrats are in trouble, and people are saying right now, if the election was held between Trump and Biden right now, Biden would lose by 13 points. I'm not saying Trump's a better candidate, but the fact of the matter is, and they keep saying, oh, this issue, that issue, this issue. If the Democrats want to win the next election, they need to start doing an agenda for Black people, because even the baby boomers can't even defend what has already taken place. And this man hasn't even been in office a year yet. It hasn't been in office a year. Kamala Harris is getting ready to jump ship. She probably will resign because her political career has been ruined. Her staff is jumping ship. I mean, it's a total mess. It's a total mess.
And but to your point though, Moni, minimum wage $15 an hour, that's still nothing. It should really be about $25 to $32 an hour. So $15 an hour is nothing.
It's almost $6 a gallon for gas here in California.
Yep, and Robin says lighting a cigarette over the burner. He needs to stop, right? And Leather and Luxury Car says Michigan is out of control right now. Time to move back south. There are plenty of jobs here, just not for us. Yes. And actually, it's getting out of control everywhere. And LL, how you doing? He says, good evening, Demetra and the Recovering Democrat. Big hugs to y'all, and same to you. And Rayshawn, you say, where's the decriminalization?
Yeah, he promised that. He promised that. Where's that bill? They haven't even talked about it.
Right. So that was a decriminalization of marijuana. Moni says, I'm noticing Jim Crow Joe was supposed to have given a minimum of $10,000 off of student loans and still has not done that. And many people that voted for him on Meet the Press, the white people, are pissed. I'm telling y'all, a lady came up to me when I was wearing one of my shirts, and she said that Joe Biden got her last time, but he won't get her again. She said he is just a liar and he did not deliver on any of the things that he said. So it's not just Black people who are upset. It's everybody who was looking for him. And she was an older white lady, so I don't know if it was a Medicare thing or whatever, but there's a lot of people who are upset that he didn't deliver on something that they were looking for him to deliver on. So, and Sunlight says, yep, as far as Kamala, be careful what you ask for. She's done. Yeah, she's got the worst rating in the history of vice presidents. But some of that, you got to concede, they think that she is Black. She's coming off as a Black woman, so she says. But some of that has to do with her being a Black woman, quote unquote, and for her just being a horrible person, you know?
Yeah, I mean, she's polling lower than Joe Biden himself.
Yeah, which I think is that, which if you look at the numbers historically, that is, there's some racial aspects to that as to why she is polling lower than him.
Yeah, it's not even just racial. It's also,
well, yeah, that's what I was saying.
A feminist, because she's a woman and stuff like that.
Yeah, there's a lot of other things. So, I mean, but, in addition to her not being a good person, she's got, she's mean. She seems like she's very mean, and just some of her past legislation when she was, a senator and AG and all of that. All right, so let's get to the rest of these comments here. And Robin says some of our people don't care about what the Democratic Party is doing. They're part of the 2/3 for a reason. Kara says, I don't see a difference between Trump's COVID response and Biden's response. They literally continued Trump's era policies and haven't kept their word on anything. I'm so glad I didn't vote for them. And you're absolutely right. What's the difference? Trump did ask, what do you have to lose, my African Americans? Jonelle says, it's clear the European Zionists own America is not going to stop what has made them rich, and that is the dumbing down, pimping, and robbing of the American people. Their politics will run as lifeless as old Joe Biden for profit. It's void from the top to the bottom. We must do for self. Yep. And we've been told to do that for a very long time, and we still have not gotten that message. And Mona says, I guess Demetra and Donovan, it depends on where you're at here in Michigan. When they know that these massage parlors are doing this immediately, what they go and do is shut them down ASAP. But they be right back up and running after that. They let it cool off, and then they be like, all right, back in business. And Kara says, let us not forget they took Black policies off the table first. Exactly. Jafia say Joe Biden is casket ready, and America is frightened that he will be bite the dust soon, leaving KK Kamala as president. Yep, because he shouldn't be president for a whole lot of reasons, and one of them is cognitively he doesn't seem like he's all there. And Thunder says the slip is perfect if you need to answer the door, just to put on a house coat, and for the men it's smooth and silky, and importantly easy access.
Well, you know what though? I remember those movies like Looking for Mr. Goodbar and stuff like that, where the woman was in the slip. I thought that was very, attractive. I did. She could just take that off, and she's still, it's nice and smooth.
So y'all like the slip?
Oh yeah, yeah.
I'm taking notes. Y'all like slips? I'm taking notes. Okay.
Just not the tan ones. Don't go with the tan one.
What about
go
the
with
black ones?
The black one looks nice because that could kind of fall into like a lingerie.
Well, I know Thunder. He wants the white one. You like the white ones, huh? The white slips. And Leather Luxury Car says, "Oh, she's black this week." Laugh out loud. Yeah, exactly. And Sunlight says, "If it's racial, she can claim it because she said America is not a racist country." So he said she can't, right? Because she did say that. I don't think America's racist. Yeah, so she did say that. And Robin says, "I'm so glad that I didn't vote for Biden or Harris. I have no regrets." Same here. And Kara says, "Right at Leather Luxury Car, she was Asian in the Senate." Yep. And yes, taking notes. Sunlight taking notes. Spy says, "Haha, my grandmother wore house coats." Yeah, I have a robe. It's pretty old lady like. I rarely wear it. I need to put it on really quick. I'll put it on, but it's just me and my daughter here. So what do I need to wear?
Yeah, the funny thing, Jafia, my grandfather used to say on my dad's side, he used to say my grandmother used to wear house coats in the house because you'd see her and she'd just walk around in the house coat, right? My grandfather like, yeah, that's all I wanted her to have. Now remember, she had 26 live births. So I guess when Grandpa came home, it was just, here you go, gotta go.
And and Reggie says slips and grits for the win. Okay, now that's some old lady stuff right there. Slips and grits. Martin says in some states like here in Michigan, we just stop buying with them and they'll go ahead and leave anyway and then get an attitude. But if I've seen it once, I've seen it 1,000 times in the beauty. So I think beauty industry. Warrior Scholar says trust and believe climbers leverage in getting Kamala to drop him, offering her the VP nomination and letting her know that Biden won't be carrying on for too much longer. Thunder says, if you find a woman who still wears a slip, this means she's a lady. She can cook, and more than likely, she's going to take it I'll take all your little ripped money. Okay, rent money. Got it. Eunice, how you doing? He says, grandmother had 26 children as well. Yep.
Big families was common. I mean, what 9? I think was the average number. 9.
Morning says, Demetra, before you and Donovan came on, I took me a nice hot shower, washed my hair, and then rubbed on some aloe vera butter that I have had for about a good 4 or 5 months. Had never opened it till 2 weeks ago. Okay, well, how was it? Jafia says, when Jim Crow Joe had to turn over his presidency for 95 minutes to Kamala, she was called the first Asian president. When she had to relinquish it, she was black again. Yes, I did notice that. And H. McDaniel says a slip is like a negligee. I could afford a real negligee. So you say you couldn't afford a real negligee, so you made a slip work. It worked well. I'm telling you, I wrote it down. Now I know,
one of Demetra's favorite artists sang a song about that. It's called, remember that song, You Wear It Well by DeBarge?
Yes. So you wear it well, a slip. Is that what he was talking about? A slip? Okay. I mean, I know now. And Robert says, when Kamala's numbers dropped, she was black, according to the media. Exactly. So she kind of goes back and forth. And Morning says, and before I did, I had already prepped it with apricot oil, castor oil, grapeseed, and it is super creamy. More light texture than African shea butter. Very creamy and non-greasy feeling. Try it. Donovan, did that do something to you?
Well, I'm
uh,
thinking of, me getting a nice massage, doing
I happen to like my shea butter greasy. I don't mind being shiny and greasy, to keep the wrinkles away. So anyway, I don't see any more comments. But what y'all want to talk about before we get out of here? I'm actually going to the gym after this. I didn't get to
well,
go because I had to work earlier.
since we're talking about Black businesses, let's also talk about the customer service and the people that we hire within those businesses that could be detriment to why a lot of customers don't return. So what is the issue? And unfortunately, ladies, I don't mean to pick on the ladies, but like I said, there are young men that do it as well. Why is it that these young girls or just people in general get into customer service jobs and they're not customer service people?
Well, because a lot of customer service jobs will, and I hate to say it this way, they'll hire people. Well, okay, I'll say it this way instead of the way I was going to say it. They'll hire people with not a lot of experience. And so, at the fast food restaurants or a lot of service industry jobs, they will train you the basics in order to get the product or the service across the counter or whatever it is. But unfortunately, a lot of businesses aren't big on, they want you to practice soft skills. Soft skills are the how you do business opposed to what it is you're doing. So let's say I'm a computer analyst. The hard skills is me knowing how to actually analyze whatever I'm doing on a computer, right? I know how to, let's say I fix computers. That's the hard skills. The soft skills is when you call me and say, hello, Miss Kaye, I need help with my computer. The soft skills is, okay, well, it would be my pleasure to help you. Let's see if we could troubleshoot that. Now on the other side, I'd be like, well, I don't know did you try to unplug it? Because I don't know what you want me to do. So I could probably walk you through how to fix your computer, but it's how I do it. So I say that to say a lot of businesses don't really delve into making sure their customer service technicians, if you will, practice soft skills, how to be amiable, how to relate to customers. Yeah, you're getting paid to put together a burger and a fry combination, but the above and beyond is welcome to McDonald's. How may I take your order? Not just stand there and look like I went to Sprouts yesterday, which is one of my favorite grocery stores. And the sister, she's there all the time. I compliment her on her hair, but she's not very personable. I'm one of those people, I go up to the counter, and most people who know me, I'm pretty jovial. I'm like, hey, how you doing today? And she was like, fine. I'm like, what did she say? Because it was just like, all right.
Yeah, I always ask them, are you having a bad day today? I just ask the question so that way I could kind of understand it and not engage anymore.
Well, so I thought maybe I misunderstood her because she had the mask on. And so I tried to say something else to her, and it was just a grumble. And I'm like, I know that most people are taught, I don't care where you work, if you're having a bad day, before you come to work, leave it at the door. Don't bring it to work because it's not your coworker's fault. It's not the customer's fault. That whatever you're going through at home has you in that situation. You leave it at the door. And I will say this, okay? I might get in a little trouble here. Now, I told you guys about the sister yesterday who was very nice and she was helpful. But I find that I have more issues with sisters in customer service. Now, when I say issues, not like they're doing anything to me. They just seem like they just really don't want to be there. The brothers, not so much. The brothers, they speak and how you doing? And, did you find everything okay? And I gave
Can I get your number?
No. But I told y'all when I was going to California, how if you go into TSA, they have, two different or a couple booths or whatever where they're checking your ID or your passport to make sure you are who you say you are. So I went to the sister, and then on the left side of me was a brother. And the sister was just, I didn't tell you to come over here yet. You got to wait. She wasn't talking to me like that, but she was talking to other people. I didn't call you over here yet. Well, yeah, I'll call you when I get ready to. But then the brother was like, hey, how you doing today? I hope you have a nice flight. And, coming, it was a striking difference. And I'm like, okay, what kind of training did he get that she didn't get? Or better yet, why is she getting away with it? It was so bad to where people was looking like, what the hell? I didn't tell you to come over here yet. Go back over there until I call you. And I'm like, why is she allowed to get away with that? Like, why hasn't she been checked? And leather and luxury cars, I see you say Black women are tired. Yes, and I'm going to get to you guys.
Yeah, but that's no excuse. But go ahead.
And I know you're in business, and I know you're not making excuses, leather and luxury cars. But to Donovan's point, that's not an excuse. I've worked customer service jobs, and I was tired. I worked at Walmart years ago when my daughter was first born, and I was tired. I was tired of the Negro I was with. He was taking me and doing the most. I didn't have any money. My car was not working right. I was in between places to stay. It was a lot, but I never showed up to work with that on me. Like, why? I never did. You know what I mean? I acted like I needed that job so that I could take care of the stuff that I was able to take care of. So I know you're not making excuses, but we all are tired. I don't know. Y'all tell me. So
yeah, but it answered my question. But like I said, that thing there, and ladies, I don't know if you guys have a universal playbook or an answer to everything, but just because she's tired, that has no excuse to do with her job. Now, as a pilot, if one of the main rules when it comes to aviation as a pilot, if you are having a bad day, you better say something right then and there, because that bad day could make 200 and something people behind you also have a very bad day, plus their families. You can't bring your personal problems into the job. And if that is the case, if you're really having a bad day, they're not going to fine you. It doesn't look bad on you. You made a great decision saying, you know what, I can't do it today. We have, another pilot on reserve to come and do it. That's what I'm saying. I used to tell my troops all the time, don't come here if you're not going to do the job right, don't come here with the attitude, because I could find somebody that can represent us a little bit better.
Yeah, stay home. And Sunlight says, Moni has serious skills. She'd be really good at commercials. Her descriptions make you want to buy whatever it is she's describing. Absolutely. And Eunice says, I've been married happily married 26 years. My husband loves me in my slip. I told you I'm writing it down. I'm taking notes. And Sublime Prince, you say, I call that Black-owned business bank. You say with a question, and the guy said, I don't know, and nothing else. I hung up. Yeah, I'm actually having a little problem with the Black-owned bank that I bank with, and it's to the point to where I'm going to have to close the account because it's hard for me to transfer money. It's a lot, and I've had it for a few years now, but it's just becoming very taxing to keep. So I'm going to see if there's other ways I can go about it.
Well, think about the problem I had trying to put money in your account at Chase.
Right? Yeah, Chase is well, that's all banks though. And let's see here. And Robin says, True and Thunder says a slip will accentuate her figure, whether she's top heavy or she's dragging that wagon.
Yeah. How many of you guys saw the movie Which Way Is Up with Richard Pryor? Remember Sister Sarah? And she was about to beat him up.
Mm-hmm.
She's like, I'll kill you now. Didn't she have a slip on? Remember, she was looking good in the slip and she was ready to box him?
Who knew you fellas really like slips? I thought they were just an undergarment that women put under, but like I said, I have to keep that in mind. I'm gonna find me a slip somewhere. And Sublime says, don't ask a question you don't want the answer to, right? And Marty says, Demetra, have you ever thought about running in a political type of office? I think you would be great. If I was in your town and you ran, I would vote for you and campaign for you or Donovan. I've been asked to do that. People will never elect me because I'm not one to be able to just shuck and jive and read off the talking points and sell something I don't believe in. So no, I haven't thought about running for office. They wouldn't want me in there. And Sunlight says, laugh out loud. I had a black bank in New Orleans and they made a video on YouTube when the Saints were going to the Super Bowl. Laugh out loud. They were on the job. and Sublime Princess White. It says, white person asked me how I'm doing. I'm like, you want the truth? How much time you got, right? And Jonelle says, Who train and groom the youth in civility and mannerism? Most people who work in customer service don't even know how to regulate their emotions, more or less be rational. Their emotions meet you at the counter. They're not even in the mood to serve. Our youth, especially, must be rooted in civility and discipline. I agree. It was like, why did you come to work? I mean, I know you came to get paid, but golly, at least if somebody says, hello, how are you? Say hello. I'm fine. How can I help you? Whatever. But just, and I'm like, this is just, I worked at McDonald's as a teenager in high school, and we were trained, hey, welcome to McDonald's. How may I take your order? Not can I take your order, but how may I take your order? Even when I was growing up, I told you guys before, you couldn't call my house talking about, can I speak to Demetra? Oh no, is Demetra there? Let me speak to Demetra. Shit, she was about to get a lecture. When you call here, you say, may I speak to Demetra? Ain't no, is Demetra there? Yeah, she here. And what? So we were taught those things, to your point, Jonelle. How to
and wait, and who are you?
Yeah,
there's a way you're supposed to speak on the phone. Hi, this is Don. May I speak to Demetra, please?
Hello, Mrs. Coulter. May I speak to, Demetra? But I'm so happy that we ain't got no landlines no more. But yeah, you call my house with that madness. You wouldn't want to call back unless you had your stuff together. And Marty says, you let me know if Sunday the 19th will be good. I can definitely do that as Venus starts retrograde. We've been whooping up on top of these people, and they're mad about it mainly because we know law. Yes, so remind me. I have you come on here for about 20 minutes or so, and you can tell us your story. We want to see your beautiful face, Moni. And Eunice says, he says, oh no, she didn't. Yeah, she's just like, the attitude was horrible. And Frank, how you doing? Jeremy says the customer service was not taught at the house. We had to change the channel, cut the grass, clean the house, clean your own room. That was customer service before customer service got to the business. You are absolutely right.
Hey, remember, Jeremy, you'd be at the playground or down the street with your friends playing basketball, and your mom or dad would call you, and you come running all the way back to the house, and you'd be like, yeah, what's going on? Change the channel.
I might have risked the whooping for that. You change it. I'm just playing. And Kimmy, how you doing? He says share, like, subscribe, join membership. Much love, Demetra. And Donovan, yes indeed. Thank you. Says hope I spelled your name correctly. Yes, you did. Except for Donovan's, but he's used to it. It's okay. I'm just kidding. But I appreciate that. Yes, indeed. And we also have a Cash App, Venmo, or PayPal if you want to donate to the channel. Every little bit helps keeping the channel going. Also, if you want to become a member, we would appreciate that as well. And we do have our super chat. So thank you, Kimmy. And Jeremy says, we had to do that home training customer service with a smile, even though we definitely didn't want to. Can you imagine talking to your mama or daddy the way some of these people act in customer service? It just was unheard of, but it's normal now.
Well, think about this. Just to have that kind of attitude at your job. This is the job that is paying, that you're depending on to pay your bills.
But what about the managers or something? You see that, like, hey, I need to speak to you. Is everything all right at home? Okay, well, I'm sorry that's going on. But when you're here, I need you to put that aside until you get off of the register, the counter, or whatever. But we can't have our customers, because a lot of people don't realize the customer service, the cashiers and all of that, you are the front line of the business. And so you are oftentimes the first person they deal with within that business. And so you are representative, and they will judge that business based on the reaction or the interaction they get from the cashiers or the customer service. And so I think managers really need to instill that in their customer service representatives. What you guys think? And Marnie says, to make Demetra, you look good, but you're a nice small build. Me and my cousin is kind of bigger, but we are shapely, natural, small back, small waist, no stomach, wide hips, and big bottoms. But exercise is key.
I'm still waiting for a picture from Moni. I'm still waiting for the picture. So,
well, go ahead, Brick House Mama. Go ahead. I don't know if I'm small in nature. I'm 5'4", give or take. I think I'm shrinking.
Average. Yeah, average height.
I'm average. weight, I won't tell y'all what I weigh, but I'm thick. I'm getting it together though.
Drumstick legs. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and Glenda, you say right. And Marty says, I think enormous amount of herbal cheese, and I drink an enormous amount of herbal cheese. And so do my cousin. Can't wait to move in the new year so that we can get a treadmill and stair climber to start exercising every day an hour or more. All right, now you drink, which means you eat a lot of cheese. Is that what you're saying? And Alyssa, how you doing? You say, I have had brothers present that same ugly attitude as well, or act like they don't hear you when you need help with something.
Oh
Yeah.
yeah,
So,
absolutely. And then they're always on
mhm.
their phone. Have you noticed that, Alyssa? They're always checking their phone.
Yeah,
Always.
the phone thing, to me, I just kind of just chalk it up as it is. The people aren't going to get off their phones. I mean, I've had customer service, and you're right, from the brothers as well, on their phones, and they're helping you and on their phone at the same time. It's like, okay, I'll wait. you know.
Now,
Uh,
let me just say this, just to say this. Would those brothers be acting like that for whatever reasons? Because to me, that sounds more like he was raised by his single mother or single mother home where no man taught him to handle your business first.
I'm gonna let y'all deal with that. I'm gonna just get to the comments. You're on time. You're right on time, Frank. And leather luxury cars, not an excuse, just something I've noticed a lot lately. But bad attitude is automatic firing in my place of business. Don't play that shit. See? So there you go. And I know you wasn't making excuses for it, but I get what you were saying. And Moni says, but Demetra, something that I am a little pissed with multiple doctors I've been to. My cousin been to where they used to work right as diet pills so that we can pay them. They don't want to know. Wow. And then Jonelle says, bad day, Mayday. Oh my God. You don't want a pilot flying you having a bad day. Absolutely.
That is
Okay.
yeah, and that's actually a FAA rule. If you're just not having it today, it is best for you to say that, and they can't hold it against you. They
Stay
can't hold it
home.
against you. Right.
Stay home. Uh-huh. Warrior Scholar says if Sister Demetra ran for office, it would be the black quote unquote women who would be organizing against her, while the black men, from lawyers to rappers, who would support her. Yeah, I mean that's probably the case. Unfortunately, so I wouldn't even think about it at all. And Glenda says you're right about McDonald's. And Moni says, is some Hispanic women that was in Detroit City Council that would be bodacious to tell you in person that she wasn't doing anything but for the Mexican community, not getting ready federal charges. Yeah, she should have kept that to herself, but she was doing the right thing. I mean, at least help our people first, right? Jafia says, when people ask you how you're doing, usually they don't really want to know. And yeah, I think that's just a general salutation. How you doing? I'm fine. All right. And keep it pushing. Marty says, now it's going to be someone that is black, but also Dominican, that is taking her place starting January. So I have no problem with people supporting their communities. But if y'all are all black city like Detroit, well, the all black city like Detroit needs to elect people that look like them. And Thunder says, I was having problems with my black owned bank. I was traveling a lot outside the country, but I never used my card, even with advance notice. Yeah,
Yep.
I'm having some problems. I don't know what to do. And Moni also say, I don't have a problem with Donovan for a person that wants to represent their culture or race in a community. But if you are an all black city like Detroit, the question is now what happened here. So now what is what you're saying?
But let me ask you this, Moni. I mean, how can you actually say Detroit's all black? I mean, I'm very sure there's some Asians there, so there's some white people there, there's some this, you know what I'm saying? You're kind of generalizing in a situation. That's like saying New Orleans is all black, Houston is all
She
black.
means predominantly. I think
Yeah,
that's
predominantly,
okay, yeah.
but again, predominantly, if you look on the city council, there wouldn't be anything but black on city council if it was predominantly.
Well, not necessarily the case, because Ferguson, Missouri, they were predominantly black. I think 90%, and they had an all-white city council until
Right.
the murder of Mike.
But that's what I'm saying. You could look the part, but mentally, you're probably not.
Yeah, so they need to do a better job at that. And Jeremy says that's Donovan's changed the channel and brought the aluminum foil for the rabbit ears to make sure the customer service was complete. And Thunder says the reason they gave me was that they couldn't do it because most of the customers don't travel, and when I use my card, it looked like a fraudulent charge.
Yeah. Thunder, I always tell people like whenever I travel, especially if I go international, I always bring 3 different credit cards. That way, in case one checks out, I've got the other, then I got the other one to back that one up. So
And H. McDaniel says these ungrateful people ought to be glad they got a job. At least act like it. So many people are not even employed. That is a fact. And Morning says, Demetra, I'm going to email you later on today, but no later than by Wednesday to see if I can come on Sunday the 12th, or it would be better for the 19th. I'm open since it's a Sunday, and I thank you. Either day is fine. Just let me know which day works for you, and it'll be our pleasure to have you on. Deadshot, how you doing? You also say, Moni Donovan, can you tell us, since they passed this law, that if you call the police well, you know what? Since you're very passionate about that, the Karen law, if you will, you could talk about it when you come on either Sunday. You also say it's been echoing a lot. I assume they might have been something with the monitor or computer. Demetra, I see a lot of changes in terms of abortion rights and laws. What's up with that? What do you think? I don't hear echo on my side. I don't know what it is, so I apologize.
Yeah. When there's an echo, that's the internet itself. That's the internet itself. But But let me just great. But in regards to Roe versus Wade, the Democrats right now have all the power they need to adjudicate or fix Roe versus Wade. The Supreme Court could only rule on what the Congress and the president sign into law, what's constitutional, what's not. So if Democrats were really interested in protecting women's rights, they can do that right now. Don't put this on the Republicans or whatever. The Republicans or whoever these pro-life people are, they're going to do what they're going to do. The question you need to be asking yourself is, well, damn, we voted Democrat. We did all this stuff, and Democrats are supposed to be for the people and pro-life. Then why aren't they doing something to make sure that Roe versus Wade doesn't get challenged?
Very good point. And so I'll go down to H. McDaniel's comment so we can get out of here. He says, I've had the same issues with Black women in customer service and their bad attitudes, especially in Atlanta, Georgia, and Oakland, California. Woo chow. Yeah, I mean, I've had bad customer service from everybody, to be fair. But I just, notices it is quite a bit with the sisters into leather and luxury cars point. Black women are tired. I get it. As a Black woman, I get tired sometimes too. But I just think that we need to learn how to, if we endure everything else in life, I think we should at least endure where our money is being made, because the customer doesn't have anything to do with what's going on, I don't think, right? So we just need to do a better job at that. And then Thunder says crimson, black, jade, plum, midnight, blue, just a couple of suggestions, and white. So what is that? That's the slip color you talking about? And Robert says exactly, Donovan. And Jonelle says politics and politicians go where the money dominates. That is the American way. Absolutely.
Yeah, purple slip is very sexy and sensuous. Prince.
Noted. So anyway, you all, and Robbie said exactly, Demetra. So it is time for us to go. I got to go to the gym because I did not work out today. So I appreciate y'all being here. And I appreciate you, Donovan, for being here with us on the Demetra Kaye Show, the co-host, the one that knows the most. Y'all like that? And of course, YouTube and Facebook, the other side of the conversation. We love you dearly, and we would not and could not do this without you. Also, again, my condolences and Donovan's condolences as well to Marcus for the loss that he has endured. And we just pray, this comfort and peace to his family. And same to you, Jonelle. Peace on you and Tanaya. A great show. And Demetra and Donovan, thank you. And Thundy said, the man that clearly understands. Talk about Donovan and the doggone slip. So anyway, we will be back next Sunday. Perhaps we'll have Miss Moni on here. She's going to let us know. But if you guys have something you guys want to talk about, let us know. We're not trying to not talk about the things that are trending. We're just trying to be a little bit more solution oriented on here and figure out ways of doing things better, right? So anyway, I know. Thank you, H. McDaniels. We enjoyed you as well. And Robin say good night. And Sunlight says peace. And Jeremy says thanks.
Sunlight, I'm gonna call you later.
And Jafia, you say have a fantastic week, everybody. Yes, indeed. And AJ, how you doing? Says I just tuned in. I'll watch what I missed. Much love to you, sis and Donovan. Yes, indeed. So we will see y'all for sure next Sunday. We might pop in here one day throughout the week, but you will know if we do. So you guys have a great rest of the week and eat something good and do something fun. Peace.